Positivity breeds positivity. It's something that I have realized. It is something that I have put into practice. It is something that has come to fruition, and it's a amazing thing to realize because your positivity spreads to so many people and so many relationships build far more off of that than superficial short-term conversations that don't really lead to anything. I had a friend that I just met up with today, and we were talking about like life choices, life decisions, and things that she had gone through and what I had gone through, and we were talking about like her track record and why people don't take what she says as face value. And I really thought about that, and I really took that in because her track record wasn't great, but me being the person that I've become, and I told her this, was first and foremost, before I look at any of the negative that has happened, I gotta applaud you first. You're trying to better yourself? Hell yeah. Go you. Like you have taken the steps necessary to get on this proper path and get on this path that's meant to make you better, and as a result, everybody around you that you decide to surround yourself with will be better because now you can be that example. And she hadn't, I guess, had that really before or had it articulated in that sense. And luckily for me, I believe that it touched a spot that I guess hadn't been touched before, and it made her realize, like, yeah, I should be proud of the things that I'm doing regardless of what these other people who want to bring me down think, because I'm doing what's best for me, I'm doing what's best for the people around me, and the results and the end game of it are going to be so substantial that it'll be worth it in the long run. And even if that wasn't the thought process, the idea of I can prove them wrong by showing that I'm going to be a better person speaks volumes. And I take that information and I'm like, God damn, like that is a very, very hard thing to do, to sit by yourself, analyze your path and analyze the steps that you took to get to where you are and realize I'm not happy where I'm at. What can I do to change that? And you start acting. You start doing something. I just finished the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And one of the paragraphs in, I think like chapter 7, something like that, was about doing something. All these people talk about these things they want to do, this positivity that they want to grow, they want to do all these things, but they don't take any steps. All they do is talk about it. And I've realized that talking about it obviously is not enough. You have to be willing to face it head on and do something. Doesn't matter how small it is, doesn't matter how trivial it is, every little step gets you one step closer to where you want to be and to your goal and to your end game. And she is working towards that, and I told her flat out, I'm proud of her. Absolutely, 100%. Because we have so much negativity in the world. And I've said this in other Can We Talks before. There's so much negativity out there that it's so refreshing and it makes you feel so good that there's positivity now coming your way. And the positivity is coming your way because you're attracting that positivity. If you have this negative, bring people down, break them down mentality, you're going to draw other people who break people down. And the cycle will continue. And it's not a good cycle that we want to be on. We want to be on a cycle where if I'm like, hey man, you got a promotion, good on you. Hell yeah. Like you work towards this. And even if they didn't really do a lot of work towards it, it doesn't matter. And I think that's a big thing that needs to be addressed. Some people have to work harder than others. It is what it is. Some people have to put in a lot of work. Some people get lucky and land in the spot. But if they take advantage of the spot that they land in, you can't knock them for being where they are. Like, I get the frustration, from the people that are like, I put 7 years, 8 years in the game, and I'm not saying people are putting in that much time, because in this day and age, 6 months is usually tops. Well, a year is tops. 6 months is usually when people start demanding stuff. I'm vaping, so I apologize for the delays whenever that happens, but yeah, there's people that are just gonna have to work harder than others to get to where they want to be, but at the same time, you shouldn't concern yourself with how other people got there if you're going to use that as negative ammunition for yourself. Because I've seen it. I see it a lot. There are guys who land this really great paying job, and it's like, dude, I've been doing this gig for 7 years. This guy literally walked in off the street, and 3 months later he has a position that I want. What the hell? That's not the mentality that you want to have. It just means that, look, the opportunity passed you up. Maybe it's not the opportunity that you're supposed to have. Maybe it's not the thing that you need. Maybe it's not the stepping stone that you're supposed to get to reach the point that you want. There's always another way to look at it that's far more positive than just saying, you know what, screw that guy, that's BS, blah 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 blah. You never know. And people are so quick to just hate on each other, man. I don't get it. And it's a sensitive subject for me because I've lived it. You know, I tried the YouTube thing a couple of years ago, and I had friends that broke me down. You're not going to make anything out of yourself. You're not going to do anything. And look, man, I said it in the first Can We Talk that I did. I don't think anything's going to come of this. I speak because I enjoy giving this information away. I enjoy hopefully brightening someone else's day. I need to step up my game. I'm not doing enough. And that's a very hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. They don't realize that maybe I'm not doing enough. I think in my mind I'm doing everything that I can, but am I really? You know, and it's just one of those things to where your hardest critic is yourself, and it should be. Other people shouldn't be able to break you down. Only you can break you down. Only you stand in your way. I don't give a damn what you want to do. If you want to work at an oil and gas company, if you want to be a pilot, if you want to be a skydiver, if you want to be a comedian, it doesn't matter what you want to do. The only thing that stops you from reaching that goal is you. So you need to look inward at yourself and think about, what am I not doing? Why are these other people succeeding and I'm constantly failing? And on top of that, if you fail, are you learning from it, or are you letting that just discourage you? Every failure should come with a lesson. Every single one. Doesn't matter what it is. Some of them are catastrophic, some of them are colossal, some of them are very, very trivial. It doesn't matter what it is. Every failure should breed a lesson that you learn from to make you better the next day. When you get up, brush yourself off, you try again. And talking to her over lunch today made me reevaluate me again. I'm constantly reevaluating myself. I'm an overthinker through and through, but there's good that comes from me overthinking, because I'm being hypercritical of myself, and people always say, well, you don't need to be so critical of yourself, but in actuality I do. I need to be critical of myself, because there's other people that'll do it, and depending on where I stand with those people, it might not take the effect. It might not work for me. So me being critical of myself works for me. It helps me build. It helps me grow. It makes me want to leave something behind. And all of these steps that I'm doing, that I'm talking about, is, what are you leaving behind? If something happens to me tomorrow, I want people to know, he had a rough start, but at the end, and it wasn't even my end, but at the end of his road, he was one step closer to who he wanted to be. He was constantly on the upswing, as opposed to he was down in the dumps. He was always depressed. He was always anxious. He didn't know where his life was going. He didn't know what he wanted to do. He had no grip on his life. He had no control. I have control now. And I will walk through every fire that I have to if at the end of it, I'm where I want to be. And that's just how I think. And I think that mentality is going to help me in all walks of life, whether it's working out, whether it's jobs, whether it's relationships. It's going to help me. And if it helps me, I'm in a better position to bestow this information on others who might be in the same spot that I was yesterday, a week ago, a month ago, a year ago. And if I'm able to help another person reach their plateau, well then, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, I'm proud of you, you know? So, think about those things and think about what you can do to make yourself better and how that's going to affect everyone else in a positive light. You know? And I think that if you do that, you'll realize that things start falling into place. You're not having to work as hard to get to where you're at because now it's just coming organically. Now it's just authentic. And it becomes a part of you so much so that it's second nature. It's like walking or riding a bike or taking a shower, which I hope people are still doing. So, yeah, it's just positivity breeds positivity, man. It's as simple as that.